Express online talk show. I am your host, I'm Jenny Umali, and I'm so excited to, of course, to introduce to you my very loving and amazing co-host, Burns, Jill, and Rochi. And I can't wait to show you and to showcase our beautiful guest for today. Her name is Christina Reese. She's a life coach and a Reiki healer, fitness nutritionist, yoga, and meditation teacher. She is a former firefighter who fell in love with helping others. She has been a natural healer, nurturer since she was a child, and now she is in a place where she gets to share her gift to others. And I'm so excited for her as well. She fell in love with the fitness in 2012, and you're gonna see her beautiful body and aura and the goddess face. And then later on, so she began a journey of self-love and understanding. She became a life coach, like I said, an energy healer to dedicate her life to helping people. And so, Christina.
Yes.
How are you today, goddess?
Wonderful. Oh, it's so nice to be here and see you all. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
So, Christina, I have really just recently got into yoga and meditation, and I would love to hear kind of how you got into it.
Great. Oh, geez. Well, it's been a journey for sure. I think when I was younger, I really wanted to be a yogi, whatever that meant, right? You know, they just look, you know, people, when I was young, people who do yoga consistently just seemed to be so grounded and calm, but I didn't really know what that meant. So I just tried some yoga classes, and it's hard, right? The first time, have you all done yoga before? It's not easy at all. A lot of people think it's just stretching, which is definitely a part of it. But so I think I was doing it on and off just because I thought it would be something cool. But then over the course of many years, it became a moving meditation for me. And I know we'll get a lot into more meditation just a little bit later, but it became a way for me to ground myself and center myself and slow down. You know, we're with our cell phones and everything's fast paced now. So it took a long time to really get into a regular practice, but it almost happened when I let go of the idea of needing to have a regular practice, you know? It wasn't this one day I woke up and wanted to do yoga, but
speaking of that, Christina, of course, before you became all this amazing healer and coach, can you please tell us your past story and what made you really decide to fully embrace your gift? I know, like you said, it's not easy to be a light worker, to do meditation, to be a yoga, because, you know, you have to have a strong mind. And it takes a lot of healing also, understanding, accepting, and letting go and learning. So tell us your past story and what was the major part of your story that really leads you to fully embrace who you are now. By the way, congratulations, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. So as you mentioned, I used to be a firefighter. I worked for the city of San Diego, and I will never forget this. It was a Tuesday morning, and as a unit, we were doing yoga. So it was an hour-long yoga class, and I just wept through the entire thing. You know, you're surrounded by men. I was like, I need to stop crying. What is happening? Like, hold it together. And so I was having I had some bad news about my aunt's health the day before. So I just thought it was emotional, something like that. And so I took the following day off. No, I'm so sorry. So that day I went to say, hey, I think I need the day off. And they said, that's no problem. Don't even worry about it. And then still, I couldn't stop crying. I was just weeping. My soul was saying, that should be you teaching, not here where you are. Yes. You should be the one guiding these people. So I was crying and crying and crying, and I was planning to go to my boyfriend's at the time and just cry. And the second I drove off the premises, I was fine. I was good. Fine. So I realized, oh my gosh, it was just my soul telling me this isn't where you're supposed to be anymore. Right. So the following day I walked in and resigned. Yeah. I just didn't feel right anymore. So I resigned the next day from the fire department. So that's
the next day?
Yeah, the next day. Done. I was like, I
And
don't have
how
a job.
long
That's
have you
fine.
been a firefighter?
A few years at that point, 2.5 years probably, with a different county, but still.
That
So
is being so brave.
Thank you. That's also something that came with a lot of meditation and yoga and learning, was understanding my own self and my own body. And when something doesn't feel right, I have to listen to it. And that is how I've always been happy. You have your gut instinct for a reason.
Right.
And most people choose to ignore it. And then they think back like, oh, I should have listened to my gut. And it's happening for a reason, and that intuition. And when you listen to it, amazing things happen. Everyone thought I was crazy. San Diego City Fire Department. They're like, do you know how hard it is to get into this department? I'm like, no, it's not for me. So, but
wow.
So that's how I.
That's
so
awesome.
then that was in 2000, I think 16, 17. Okay. So then from then, I've just been following that gut and became a healer and have just embraced it, because so many people just need that push to hear that it's okay. Trust your gut. It's okay. It doesn't matter what other people think. And so that's really a big part of what I do, is helping people feel confident in themselves and love themselves enough to choose themselves.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
Before we continue, I just want to ask Christina, what is an energy healer and a light worker? Like for us who are not familiar, and I know many of those who are watching don't know what it is too. So can you tell us more about it?
Of course. So from what I know about energy healing, there are so many different forms, but for a general explanation, everything's made of energy. We have cells, we're moving, atoms, everything is always, and when you're heightened or anxious, or you buzz at a higher frequency, and so what I do, I'm a Reiki healer. So I just essentially am feeling that energy and realigning it. So you could be out of whack, and all you need is some energy to calm you, ground you, reset you. And of course we can go in and heal things from the past and all of that sort of thing. But essentially you are bringing your energy back to a place that is neutral and then more positive. For a general overview.
I really like that.
Thank you.
I have a question. So my biggest struggle is actually like meditation, like getting into that mode of actually meditating. And it's hard for me. My mind is always racing. And so like what's your like advice, or what's the basic steps that one should take to have like a meaningful meditation session?
That's a great question. So the first thing that everyone should do, always, that is usually skipped, let go of the idea that something needs to happen. Just throw it out the window.
True, that's true.
Yes. Meditation it's very common that it's thought of as this thing. You need to go and light candles and lay down, and you're going to have an experience where you leave your body. Like that's no. That happens, and that's wonderful. But if you're just starting to meditate, how daunting is that? You're comparing your 5 minutes of racing mind and mental state to that. You're never going to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you asked that question. The first thing is just let go of the idea that anything needs to happen or is going to happen specifically. That was a big issue I had in the beginning for years. I couldn't get there or arrive at the place I thought I was supposed to be going to, so
I think it's expectations.
It is.
It's expectations.
And they're totally incorrect. Just letting it go and letting it be. So actually I want to do something, and all the viewers can do this with us at home. So just close your eyes for just a second. All we're going to do is take a breath. Okay. So go ahead and let go of your air. Just breathe out. And now slowly breathe in through the nose, and just notice what it feels like entering your nose and going down your throat. And then as you breathe out the mouth, feel the air leaving and running over your tongue. Okay, now open your eyes. you just meditated. That was it. You focused on nothing. Your
it.
mind, you were not thinking of anything else, correct?
Yes.
That was meditation. That's how simple it is.
It's true.
And that forced you to let go of everything for just a moment, right? So imagine doing 1 breath a day, and then 2 breaths, and then 3, and then all of a sudden you're an hour in, you know, whatever it is that you want. So that's your question, Burns. It doesn't have to be a separate thing from your day. I meditate millions of times throughout the day, simply by taking a breath to reset. And that was life-changing when I realized that that's how simple it could be.
Yeah, that's been teaching me. Like Jenny, for one, would teach me, and then I had somebody say, "Oh, all you have to do is like think of like concentrate on the tip of your nose, and then pretty soon you'll be in a state of meditation." I'm like,
so you're there thinking about your nose, and then you're thinking about how crazy you are for thinking about your nose.
Well, you know what, Christina, I couldn't agree more to everything that you said, honestly. And then there's just really like things that I always tell my students and my clients when we do meditation. Let go of your expectations and allow your inner knowing. Because when you just allow your inner knowing, you're having fun with it. You feel free. You're at peace. And then the next thing, like in the beginning, you have to, of course, to do the breathing. That's very important because that will ground you. And that will really release some of your extra energies on your body. And when you feel that energy releasing out of your body, you suddenly feel like, wait a second, why am I feeling so light right away?
question. What is inner knowing?
Sorry?
Great question.
What is inner knowing? Well, inner knowing is just allowing yourself to tell your mind, okay, that, hey, it's okay to just be at peace and quiet. You don't really have to sit in silence and shh, don't think. Because our mind starts to wander after 90 seconds. Once you breathe in, automatic, there's like things on your mind right away. So the inner knowing is that you're allowing your body this time to speak to your mind and say that it's okay. So sometimes people think that it's the other way around. You would always like focus on your mind and say, like on the tip of your nose, like think about your nose. And you are actually not focusing on that. You are thinking of your nose and you're allowing your mind to speak to your body. No, when you do the breathing, it's your body that's letting go, and automatically your body will tell you and your mind and your whole being to just, it's okay to let go. So the inner knowing is your higher self. Your inner knowing is your soul. Your inner knowing is your breath itself. So that's the inner knowing for me. Thank you for your question. Like a pure over here.
So another question. So how does your subconscious play into it then? Like, are you connecting to your subconscious at the same time?
Oh, are you asking me that?
Yeah. sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. Okay. Repeat the question.
So when you are meditating, is the goal really to connect to your subconscious?
Great question. So have you ever, well, there are a million books on it, but you know, when you're thinking and you're not even aware you're thinking, it's just part of your life and you're just having these thoughts. And then you have another part of you that notices your thoughts. And there's almost 2 of you.
Yes.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, I look terrible. And then your other voice is like, oh, don't say that about yourself.
Yes.
You know, have you ever noticed with that voice? So many people don't even realize it's there.
Oh, it's like the one they saw on TV, the bad guy and the good guy on
right.
This
it's
one,
like your
know?
angel and your devil. It's your inner, what's the word? It's your
inner knowing.
Oh, your biggest critic.
Oh,
is
okay,
your devil.
And
then you have your higher self,
yes,
which is like, you're a goddess, you're perfect, listen to me. And they're like, you're ugly, you're, you know, and it's like this constant, or whatever your human voice is saying to you, you know, and then your higher self, the more you, meditate, and I'm going to finish this thought and then I'm going to answer your question. The more you let this voice speak, your higher self, the fact that you are perfect exactly as you are.
Yes.
So yes, are you connecting to your subconscious? Yes. I believe that it was in meditation and through meditation that I was able to learn so much about myself. And it was as simple as understanding what I was feeling. Because you're sitting with yourself. So you're not going to feel any external things because you're alone, right, feeling your emotions, and you're listening to your thoughts. And again, for someone like Burns, like if your brain doesn't shut off during meditation, then let it talk. This voice is talking, but then you have this other voice that can just listen objectively. Just listen. Yes. Don't have any emotional connection to what you're saying or thinking. Don't judge it. Just let it be. Yes. Oh, okay. My head's not going to turn off today. Let me just listen. What am I thinking about? Yeah. And then the more you get to know yourself, the more you kind of shift and are able to say, ooh, something's off today. And that all happens at a subconscious level.
You get familiar with your energy. And to add to the Jill's question, our subconscious mind doesn't really know what reality and what realm is. So it doesn't know. So whatever you put your mind into, or whatever it is that you want to think of, your subconscious will react and believe what you think, believe what you say, believe what you feel. So for example, if you're drinking a coffee and this is a coffee and you're like thinking, oh, this is a hot chocolate. And then all of a sudden your subconscious will make you feel, it will attract that energy that, oh yeah, it tastes like chocolate. Or it tastes, what's going on with this? This is coffee. Why it tastes like chocolate? Because again, your subconscious doesn't know what reality and realm is. It just will go whatever you feel like, whatever you put into it, that will connect to your subconscious. So I really like what Christina said, that
you gotta believe.
Yes.
Your thoughts.
I really like what Christina said about like subconscious, that yes, in the beginning, you're going to teach your subconscious that, hey, we're so at peace. I'm seeing the nature, I'm seeing ocean. I'm here right now, just seeing this beautiful sea in front of me. And then your subconscious like moving, oh yes, yes. And then you attract that energy already, and you can almost smell the wind. You can almost feel the wind on your face. So the subconscious is very powerful. I love my subconscious more than my consciousness, honestly.
Oh,
Yes, because your consciousness is like, it will, your consciousness sometimes make you so logical that you want to analyze a lot of things, because when you're conscious, you're seeing things. You use your naked eye to fully understand what's within or what's beyond. But your subconscious, the minute you say, hey, let's just sit still, let's pray, meditate, and breathe in. And your subconscious again will lead you, or will travel, will guide you to where you want to supposed to be, you want to go. Subconscious is, oh no, we have to buy a plane ticket, we have to do this, la, 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 la. That's what consciousness is all
about. Awesome. Well, I've heard that the subconscious is really reflective of your true self and your soul. Do you believe that, Christina?
Yes.
That's exactly what guided me out of the fire department. My soul was telling me this isn't right anymore. My subconscious knew I didn't belong there before I was aware of it.
Before your conscious did.
Right. And then once you're able to connect the two and say, oh, that's why I feel terrible. That's why I'm dreading going to this place, because my soul is telling me this isn't for you anymore. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
I actually want to ask Christina. So Christina, speaking of like meditation, do you believe that through meditation, that's the base of like starting to connect through healing? Like, because what happened to me is that I started with meditation first, and then connecting with my chakras, embracing my third eye, embracing all the craziness that I see like outside the physical world. And then all of a sudden I feel like, wait, I'm healing people, even with my words, even without like holding them and whatnot, just by listening to them and giving them advice. You know, the human term is advice. And then all of a sudden you see yourself that, oh, I'm already becoming a healer through just like becoming one with my higher self. And that's the start. I think the meditation really will give you the foundation to be a great healer eventually. Do you agree with that?
I do. I think that, so by no means do you have to be this perfect, grounded, amazing person to be a healer at all. But through meditation, you start to heal yourself, which fills your cup, so then you can help others. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you are hurting and scattered, and how can I support and be a foundation for someone else? So through meditation, it all comes back to learning yourself and understanding your emotions, and understanding that your thoughts create your emotions, and that when you shift the way you think, you can shift your entire life. And then you can help others along the way and help them understand that and heal themselves too. Yeah, it all starts from I think a grounded place, which for me was meditation as well. And again, it didn't have to be, I know you talk a lot about guided meditation. I love guided meditation, where I have a forest I go to, I have a beach I go to, in my mind. Yeah. I could pop there instantly, like I'm there now, but I also, of course, just do breath work and just to calm down and just understand about myself.
I think like the breathing, that really helps me like go into a state of meditation. Like when Jenny taught me the 4-7-8, so that's what I would do to prep me into that mode of meditation. So but I believe you, like you like meditation can really change you. Like I was like, through this pandemic, I was actually like feeling a little desperate, like a little bit of panic because there's no income coming in. And then Jenny said, listen to my money mindset meditation. And I'm like, okay. I even bought it from her. Like in
maybe you have to invest. Actually, you have to invest. Hello.
Okay. So I bought the money mindset meditation, which Jenny made, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, I should pay for it. Maybe it'll be more effective that way.
It's true.
I bought it, and then I started listening to it that morning, and like 3 hours later, I closed on 3 clients, about like to 9,000 in
yes.
Mindset is everything.
That
everything.
So I've been listening to it every day.
Good.
Every day?
Yes, every day.
So Jenny, you should link that for everyone else to get.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I want it, Jenny. I want it.
I want it.
I'll take it. Love it.
So, Christina, we talked about meditation. Let's talk about yoga a little bit. And sounds like you love it. I am not a huge yoga fan. Sometimes it puts me to sleep. I guess I'm doing the wrong kind of yoga. So what are some of the different types of yoga?
So it's interesting that you said that. It sounds like you have an expectation on what it should be, which is another thing you should let go of. Because whatever you're perfect. Whatever you're doing is perfect. Now if you need to fall asleep, do some yoga, for you, that's what happens. And that's great. So there are so many different types of yoga. There's Kundalini yoga, that's more spiritual. There's Hatha yoga, that's more balanced. There's Vinyasa yoga, which is what I teach, and that's breath to movement, meaning every movement you are focusing on a specific breath. For example, breathe in as you lift your arms, and then exhale as you lower your arms, so you're really connecting. And if you couldn't tell, I love breathing techniques.
Yeah.
They've just helped me. So yoga to me is actually become a meditation. I don't wake up and do like a 90-minute yoga practice every day. It's when I feel it and need my body to move and need to get out of my head. But for people, there's yin yoga, which is something that you might like. It's you're holding each pose for 1 to 5 minutes, and it's not like warrior 3 or you're on one leg or anything. Those are restful, gentle postures. It's very for stretching, for relaxation. I'm sure you've heard of Bikram yoga.
Yes.
105 degrees, 40% humidity, 90 minutes, 26 moves. They're always the same. It's intense if you want that. So there's something for everyone. Aerial yoga, where you're hanging on a rope or, whatever it is.
I know they added a lot of like yoga activities now and styles and techniques.
Right. But that's so you can find what works for you. So if you've tried a yoga class and hated it and you never want to do it again, I really urge you to try again and maybe just try a different type. Do a 10-minute YouTube video or something, and try different.
I think for me, my time is just so limited, but I always, make time for myself. And, I always want to feel like it's like I'm getting a workout, right? Because, but I also, have incorporated some yoga into the evening hours where it's more of the breathing and relaxing and stretching. So I feel like I have to do like my Pilates or running or biking, maybe in the morning, and then do my yoga at night. Do a lot of people do it in the morning or night, or does it just not matter?
Depends on you. I mean, there's, you could do like a sunrise flow in the morning or some yin at night, but you should try power yoga or yoga sculpt if you want to work out.
If you really want,
will not be easy.
If you really want,
that's what I need. I need a challenge. I need to really.
If you want to gain muscles and all that stuff, you have to do the intense yoga. So when I started yoga too, what I love is the vinyasa and then the kundalini. It's so easy, it's so relaxing, and that actually easily when I do my breathing and then move, the kundalini is so soft and gentle, and it's like you're making love with yourself. Then of course there's it's true.
So if you want that.
Right. But Christina here, she's also an expert with the fitness. So she knows what your body needs. I actually met her when I was doing kickboxing, and I just fell in love with how she embraced really her craft, every single thing, like her passion for really helping. She's very intuitive. She knows how you feel. Like when you went into the room, when you opened the door, she already knows, like, good morning, good afternoon. She already knows, are you okay? And then she will talk to you, like she will really guide you. She feels your energy. That's when I knew that, this woman is an amazing healer. I knew it. And then we talk about that, and then we're like, oh my God, we are on the same path. So she's not only a healer and a life coach, she's also really good. She's a nutritionist. She's everything. When it comes to really health and wellness, let's call her. Let's be her best friend, because that's what we all need.
We all need.
Yeah.
Watchi, you're going to say something?
Yeah, because when we're thinking, I just remembered some things that happened like a few months ago. I tried yoga once because it's like a free class, and it was nice because it's more of like, I don't know what type it is, but it's mostly stretching and breathing. And then I said I like it, but because I play badminton and I'm into like walking and running, so I'm really like that active person. So one time in my boys taekwondo class, he was say their master told me, do you want to try the yoga class? Because there's a yoga class, and I'm like, no, I'm a violent person. I can't stand yoga. And he started laughing at me because I said, I could see that, because when I'm doing when I drop the boys, I'm like doing a million things instead of watching them, like those typical mom thing. And it's like, no, you have to try that. I'm giving you a free class. You have to try it. I'm like, no. And then I said, maybe the cardio kickboxing is like, no, I'm not offering you the free kickboxing. I'm offering you the free yoga. I'm like, why is he pushing me? And then eventually when I went to my doctor, I said, my back hurts in this one. And he knew already my activities. And he's like, why don't you try yoga? And I'm like, why are you pushing me to yoga? And because for me, fitness is like something that you're very active and has to be moving. And because when I tried that one, I was like, no, it's too relaxing. But I didn't find it boring though. But it's just like, I think maybe because it's my first time,
I think it's a
So
calling. I think it's your calling, just like Christina here, where she was.
that,
It's,
yeah, but that's
it's a
what now I want
calling.
to ask Christina. Is it like, is there a certain fitness level that you should be in to start yoga? Like,
Uh,
because, yeah, that kind of fitness level. Or,
Absolutely not. I think it scares some people because they're not active at all. And the first time you go, it's so difficult, even if it's just because you don't know the names of postures. So you're like, I feel behind. I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone's in down dog. I've never done this before. And that's really intimidating. But you can be any level, again, because there's so many different types, and you will get better. I remember the first time I tried to do a yoga class, I just didn't know what I was doing. And that makes you feel like you're bad at it. And that's not the case. You're just learning. The first time you do anything, there's a learning curve. You need to give it a couple of times to actually allow yourself to learn the process, learn how it works, learn the flow and everything.
I actually have a very long experience in yoga. So I used to work out a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with P90X.
Mm-hmm.
So I did 270 days of that. So that's 3 sets of it. And a big part of that is yoga. And it's like an hour and a half of yoga. So in the beginning, I was so bored. I was like, because it kept like repeating the downward dog, and it was like 30 minutes.
I love
30 minutes of stretching or flexibility, and then balance 30 minutes. So it was all those. And it's like, since it's a 90-day program, it's like cramped, So Monday I would do resistance training, cardio, resistance training, and then yoga, and then resistance training, and then stretching on Saturdays. So it was packed in there, and oh my God, the health benefits that I like eventually, like my injuries, like less, I mean, not the injuries, but like pain, the back pain, and because like it was always stretching my spine, my everything. So I was like at the best shape of my life. I should go back to that.
Yeah. Well, and it'll help. So everything in your body is connected. If you have lower back pain, you might have tight hip flexors. You might have a tight quad. You don't think that that's related because that's the front of your leg and your back, but they're so related. You might have a weak core. So yoga is able to help balance you entirely as a whole. Holding a plank, you're working almost every muscle in your body. And the thing too, just because you're doing a slow practice doesn't make it easy. Holding something for a long time, even if it's just chair pose, which is almost like a squat, whoo, you will build the heat. So just because it's slow, sometimes it's more difficult. And it's great.
I like the whoo!
Because I know that feeling. That's literally what you want to do.
Because I remember when I was studying my yoga, so I finally got my degree for yoga globally. I'm seriously, especially that I'm overweight. I'm 30 pounds heavier now. So I'm like, is this really good for me? Because like when you're heavy, I have a big behind. So I can't really, you know that, right? I can't really move when it comes to downward dog. I'm like, it wiggles.
It has a mind of its own.
Yes. But you see, you know what I've learned? I kid you not. When you're studying yoga and when you're actually doing yoga, it's all about mindset. The strength is really on your mind, and then your body will really follow. Kindly please correct me, Christina, if it's true or not, because that's what I thought. But then I was able to finish it, and I do have a yoga degree with that. So I don't know if it's really true.
Well, you are conditioning your mind, especially if you're in that state where you're thinking this is so boring.
Yes.
I want to stop. I'm done. That's your mind.
Oh, yes.
It's all your mind. So challenge your mind to grow and expand. And they have a saying in the Navy, when you feel like you're dying in a workout or want to do something, and you want to quit, your body is only at 40%.
Yeah.
It's all mental. It's a mental, your
Mhm.
body is capable of almost anything. You just have to believe it and push, and you can do it, you know?
Yes, actually, that's true. So I'm really glad that I do have this very strong mindset when it comes to that, because I paid for it. So I really like, investment is very important.
Mhm.
So I really invested in that, and I said, no, I'm really gonna finish this. And then I had to what you call this, do the test twice, because the first I failed, and so really have to do it again. I'm like, okay, fine, let's just do this. The second time, I'm like, 97.
Woo!
Yes. So Burns, you were like, you were asking me a while ago about something.
Oh yeah.
You
So
can ask Christina.
do you think like yoga and meditation should be like the major part of a fitness routine? What do you think?
Do I think they should be a major part of a fitness routine? I don't think that yoga is for everyone. I don't.
It's true.
Because everyone is raised in a different environment, and it might just not be something they're drawn to. I would never necessarily push anyone to do it, but I believe stretching and meditation should be in every fitness routine. Yoga is a great way to incorporate that stretching and opening up your body, but stretching alone is fine. So, but why? So with your fitness, you're tearing apart your muscles so they can grow back stronger. If you didn't know, that's what's happening when you're working out. You're creating micro tears in your muscle so that when it heals, they get bigger. That's why your muscles grow, and you can see them as you get stronger and stronger. Just so there are a couple of things that are just as important as the workout itself, and that is stretching and recovery.
Yeah.
So whether that's yoga or stretching or meditation, they are so important. And that's so you can allow yourself to actually heal. If you have, let's see, we don't always realize that our mental health is just as important as our physical health. So if you have a lot of turmoil mentally or spiritually or emotionally that you're not taking care of, your body's going to try to heal those things so it will not recover and repair your body. So that's why we want a well-rounded practice in everything so you can heal fully, really. I hope that made sense.
Yes, absolutely. It does. It does. Yeah. I totally can see like how that is related.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Christina, I got one more question.
Sure.
It's about Reiki. Because I said Reiki is the energy healing, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So before I ask before you answer my question, I just want to share an experience with Jenny, because before, I've known her before, and like it's forever. She's always there in my timeline, in Facebook, whatever. So anyway, a year ago, well, I would say maybe there are different names for healing and everything, energy healing. So during the past, I said maybe 10 years, I've been really a very busy mom, like with 4 kids. I barely have time to really sit down, stay still. And I also tell everybody I have ADHD because I can't stay still. My mind is always like racing. So anyway, when I would say for the past 5 years or so, I've been in that stage when I said, who am I now? Like I can't figure out, because yeah, I am a mom, and what else? Like, who is Rochi aside from being blank's mom and blank's mom and blank's mom?
I love this.
And then it was, and then because my job is really a food allergy blogger. I'm a blogger, so I write, and I am a writer. So maybe 2 years, I was like looking, why can't I write anymore? I mean, it's not that I don't have the ideas. I got tons of ideas, but it's just that I'm having issues writing down. Like I would type it, and then after 3 sentences, erase. I don't like it. You know, like self-editing. That's it's not even editing. It's really like erasing everything. So anyway, one day, I think it was, is it last year, Jenny? I was like, it was a night, really late at night here. And then, so I said, you know what? I can't write. It's not writer's block because I have so many things to say, but it's just like I keep erasing it. So in my time, so I switched the tab on Facebook. And then for one weird reason, there was a post from Jenny that it says, I'll click the link. It's something meditation, whatever. And I'm like, what is that? You know, like, I'm just curious. So I click it. I said, maybe it's another topic for me. So I click it and it went directly on YouTube. And of course, I was like looking at it. First 2 minutes, you know, it's just like watching YouTube, but it's like it's a beautiful screen. It's just like, I don't know. It's just almost like plain background. It's not like too busy. She's not talking like, you know, typical YouTube video. It's just like very serene. So I'm like, okay. 2 minutes into it, my eyes were closing, but it's not I'm sleeping because actually my mind was very much awake. I'm actually focused on that video. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know how many minutes into that, I'm flooding. Like tears were like flooding and my table was all wet. And, you know, usually for me, a typical reaction would be to like, you know, wipe the tears and everything. But no, I was like just sitting there and letting everything flow. Like letting flow. And, you know, I know there was a part of my brain that said, the wooden table will have watermarks.
Rachi, can you tell them, like, after that, tell them what happened? Like, you messaged me and you just like pour your heart out.
Yes. Actually, when, you know, I was at first I was like thinking, oh no, watermarks. But then, you know, because I was so focused on it, it's like it doesn't matter. It's just like the thoughts just flowed, and then after that, I don't know how long it is, maybe like 10 minutes. It's not that really long. It's not a long meditation. After that, I was like, oh, what a big release. So I was like cleaning my face and everything. And then I just like, you know what? There's just a part of me that says, Jenny, I have to message you. So I messaged her. It's like probably like, and I didn't know that she was, you know, at the back of my mind, I didn't know that she's in California. So I thought it was really bad to message her because it's almost like 1 o'clock in the morning here in the East Coast. So anyway, I just messaged her and said, hey, Jenny, this is what happened on that thing you sent to me. And but there were goosebumps everywhere. And I'm like, I can't stop crying, but I felt so light, you know, and then it was.
I actually did distance Reiki on her. So she did the meditation. She went to my website, and then so I was just listening to her. That's me being a life coach. So let me hear you. You know, she's my younger sister. So like, let me hear you. Let me hear you. And then so she started. I'm like, okay, just close your eyes. We're gonna do it one-on-one. And then so I did the distance Reiki healing on her, and she got so curious about it. Just like, what is this? What did you do to me? She's like, this is amazing. So she felt like from being blocked with, so she thinks that that is not a writer block. Definitely it is not, because she's really good at writing. But what was there then is the energy block. These are the past traumas, the pains. It's like you're just stuck. You're just definitely stuck because something was triggered. And then so when I knew that she needed that distance healing, like 10 minutes distance Reiki healing, and she felt good about it. So actually, Jill doesn't know anything about Reiki. I remember when I first met her, she asked me what is Reiki. So Jill, this is the best time for you to actually ask Christina
all the questions.
Yes, give me the 101 on Reiki. Give me the basics that I need to know.
As humans, we are really, really, really good at not expressing anything. We hold it all in, we bottle it up, and then it manifests in our physical body. And exactly what happened to Rachi, you are blocked. You are stuck, as Jenny said. But it's real. It is your mental and emotional self blocking your physical being. And it's crazy that it's so connected, but it is. It all needs to flow freely. So as energy workers, we just move that stuff aside and get rid of it for you. We help you work through some things that you don't need to hold on to anymore, and then release and open up those blockages, and then allow you to feel more free. And it's as simple as, yes, Jenny mentioned distance Reiki. You don't have to be physically touched. I could Reiki you right now. In fact, I'm going to. You'll never know. Well, maybe you will. You'll leave going, oh, I feel great.
Yeah.
So it's really transferring the energy, like from the Reiki healer, right, to the client, right?
So you're not going to be getting my energy or the practitioner's energy. We use what's called the life force energy, which is universal energy, love, anything that you want to call it or think about. But we're a conduit. So it's able to flow through us to you, so that we're not exhausted after the session and you're not taking all of our energy, it's unrelated. We're just the person who can transfer it. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, follow up on that. Like, does it have to be like a special calling to be into Reiki or to be a Reiki master? Because there's so many like what we call online programs now that if you buy this program, you will be a Reiki. This is certification. But is there a special thing that needs to, more than just reading about it?
Yeah.
To happen. To become a practitioner?
To be a practitioner.
What's the procedure to be a Reiki?
Great question. So we have, the very first time I ever became a Reiki practitioner, it was Reiki 1 and 2. There are different levels. Reiki 1 allows you to heal yourself, heal others. Reiki 2 allows you to work through distance, and that includes over time and space. So I've sent Reiki to the future when I was going into an interview, so I wouldn't be panicking. I've sent Reiki to the past to heal traumas that I don't need to worry about anymore and needed to heal from. I love helping clients with that stuff. It's just like a weight that's lifted. And even people who don't even realize they're holding on to things. And then you can move on to becoming a Reiki master, which essentially just means Reiki teacher, so that you can then help others become practitioners. And then there's a bunch of other levels and extra things that you can do as well. But they are essentially workshops. So my next workshop is actually coming up, so all of you should do it. It's August 1st and 2nd, and it's for Reiki 1 and 2. Some teachers do Reiki 1 is one workshop, it's its own separate thing, and then you can do the second. I like to combine them into a 2-day workshop. You really just get a lot more out of it. Personally, it doesn't matter. You can choose to whoever, go whoever you want, but really just you will be called to a certain person if you want to work with a certain practitioner. And I always say the circle, because it's usually a circle of people sitting there, is divinely guided. Whoever's supposed to be there will be there.
I remember when Christina and I did the Reiki Master attunement. Burns is actually.
I was gonna say, don't forget Burns was there.
Burns was actually our what do you call that?
Our
dummy
victim? No, I'm just kidding.
So because of course when you do Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3, which is the master and teacher, you still have to study and you have to practice. So Christina and I, we did that. We had a very nice time doing the attunement. She was so giving. She was very, very open and willing and ready to receive. So I didn't really have a hard time like attuning her. And like I said, the universe and God just are using us to connect to the physical body. But what the attunement is doing is it is spirit to spirit and heart to heart, energy to energy. So let's just say that the physical body would just want us to really see and vision what's in there. But the nice part about the attunement that we had with Burns is that when Christina did the healing practice to Burns, can you please tell your experience with Christina the very first time that she did Reiki on you as a master?
Yeah, I did feel like some warm energy on my back. Yes, I remember. I remember.
Yes. So, and then another thing is that when we were here, so the reason why I really love Christina to be on our show, because she has an amazing story when we're doing meditations here. You know, it's because it's like now we live nearby, but she used to work in a very close fitness center here in our home. And so one time, Christina, I don't know if you remember this, we were doing meditation. You are already a master then.
Was
So,
I giggling?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I said, was I giggling? There was a time I couldn't stop
Yes.
laughing.
So there's two actually. One is she just like, and we were like, okay. So her angels are like really playing with her. Another one is that so we were doing all the meditation stuff. So we're lift your hands up, lift it up to the sky, and allow this energy to connect with you. Allow the angels to spread their wings. And Christine was like doing the whole thing, all the guided meditation. And guess what? When I asked her, hey, where were you? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? She was doing the whole thing, but she was so steady. She's doing this.
I thought I was asleep,
Yeah.
but I was moving.
Yeah,
I
she
forgot
was
about
moving.
that. Yeah.
And the funny thing and the weird thing is that she's doing it the right way. It's like she's stretching her body. She's like already flying. She's moving. I was like, what's going on with her again? She's very magical. She's one of my friends that I really love having with in the spiritual circle, because she would, even if she doesn't talk, she would always like contribute her energy. She would give her energy, even if she doesn't know that she's doing it already. Like the whole group is just amazing. We will always end up at 1 o'clock in the evening.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning, actually. And, it's just, like I said, being a light worker is not easy, but the practice, the process, the transition, and when you finally transform into something beautiful, like Christina here, you will never regret really giving your time or investing your time, your energy, and your money, literally, money is commitment. So I am pretty sure, I know it already, that with your workshop, this coming August 1st and 2nd, I know that it's gonna be a blast. And I can't wait. I want to be there. I want to see you there. I want to support you as well. So Christina, anybody who wants to ask more questions, because this is the time.
Actually, yeah, could I just add one thing? Just so everyone knows too, you don't have to learn Reiki or become a Reiki healer with the intention of doing that as a job or a career, or then become a master to then teach it. So many people do it for their own personal healing. In fact, that's what the goal was originally, that if everyone could heal themselves, imagine the world we'd live in. I have so many clients that are nurses that are also healers, that are hairstylists because they're touching people. They can incorporate Reiki, yoga instructors, massage therapists, all of these people that are hands-on in their work, that just want to add an extra to their clients, right? You would keep coming back for that if you just felt amazing every time you went somewhere. That's wonderful. People never forget how you make them feel. So imagine changing lives that way. And really, if you just have some things you want to work on internally or emotionally, you can do it for yourself. If you want to work and heal your children, calm them. If there's anxiety, something like that, it's amazing for that as well. So you don't have to do it to then tell everyone that's what you're doing, and that it can be a personal thing just for your own healing. It's wonderful.
And then eventually, when they see, like I said on one of my posts, practice what you preach. When they see that, hey, Christina here, or Jenny, or Jill, or Roche and Burns, they're doing a good job. What are they doing? So they're gonna get curious, right? So you don't really have to tell them. What they're gonna do is they're gonna ask you. They're gonna ask you, hey, what's going on with you? Just like me, when Christina's posting, I'm like, OMG, she's flying high. And I've been waiting because I know that it's really her purpose to embrace her light, her gift, and her love. And she's still very young, but you know, she has a heart that has been like maybe traveled so many lifetimes, and she knows exactly what you need. So I can attest you to that because she did a lot of like good stuff with the circle that we have here, right? And I really want to thank you for your presence. So Christina, if you
so actually this is for Jenny and Christina. You know, when you know you have this energy, right? Like that you talk about when you're working with your clients. Have you always felt that throughout your entire life, that you had a higher level of energy than other people? Or is this something that you have really worked on and developed?
That's a great question. When I became a Reiki healer, essentially you're sending energy through your hands. And I had a flashback of when I was a child and I hurt my knee and put my hands on my knee and was like, I wish I could just heal this right here with my hands.
I love that story.
So sometimes a lot of people just aren't connected to the knowing that they already have.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you could be sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I have no intuition. I have no clue what's going on inside of me. I will never be a healer. But think back, where were you a year ago? You know how much can change in that time?
Mm-hmm.
You focused on yourself, your self-growth, your self-worth, all of that, your healing, you could shift into it. And so for me personally, I'm not sure about Jenny, but I have always had a connection to energy, spirit, all of that stuff, but it is something that I've consistently and consciously worked on to grow as well. So it's always been there, but I needed to, just like anything else, kind of hone into it to really have it grow. And now it's easy. I could walk up and be like, oh my gosh, what happened? Do you feel off? You know, and you'll be like, we've never met. Sorry, hi. Tell me about your childhood. No.
But it's true.
I think at the end we should do an exercise of Christina going, okay, Jill, what's going on with you? And
yep, love it.
We can do that a post show, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Jill, with my story, I really didn't know that, you know, in the Philippines, we're very spiritual. We're also very religious, like Catholic, and, you know, but we believe in like spirituality and we call it spiritista. So there's like a Dr. Quack Quack, like we call it Dr. Quack Quack. So anyway, so make the long story short, I at an early age I already knew that I'm something else. Like I'm not saying that I'm powerful. I didn't even know what gift means or gifted means. I just know that I have this extra energy. I didn't even know that we call it energy. I just know that there is something in me that that can help people. Just like I started with my mom. So my mom would always ask me to massage her. And she'd tell me like, hey, Jenny, I want you to massage my stomach because it hurts. And every time you finish massaging me, I felt good about it. So that's one. And then, you know, there's a lot of stories about me, magical, weird, crazy, witchy. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that this coming August, because that's going to be our episode. So healing and spiritual. And I would love Christina to be there again to tell her more of her story. So this is more of like true story. It's not about Reiki. It's not about healing. It's actually our true story. And this is going to be somehow like a little creepy, but these are all true. The ghosts, the spirit guides, the angels.
I was a witness.
Yes, it's true. So anyways, Jill, with mine, I actually have this for a very, very long time. But of course, along the way, when you're growing up, you're get busy with other stuff. And, you know, you set that aside. But it has always been with me. Like when I do card reading or energy reading, palm reading, it's always been with me. The only time that I really fully embrace it is when I hit my darkness. That was 2015. So when I embraced me and then I was in darkness, I saw myself, you know, the thing that they always tell you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I've been in that dark tunnel. And then I realized, you know what? the light at the end of the tunnel is actually my reflection.
Mm.
It was my reflection. It is your reflection. It's not because, remember this, when you keep on moving, you keep on moving, you keep on following the light at the end of the tunnel, and you'll be like, why am I still here, right? And then one day I woke up, I look at myself, I literally look at my heart chakra, and then I said, this is the light. That is actually my reflection. All along in that darkness, I was the light. Someone is guiding me, and someone is like connecting through me. And that's the light in here. And so the minute I recognize the inner light in me, and I said, this is it. No matter what it takes, no matter what it takes.
I feel like you almost met yourself.
Yes.
At similar moments.
You're right. With you
when
too?
You realize that you have control. It's always been you. It's always been inside of you.
Yes.
Every single one of you has it.
Do you feel the same way, Christina, when you fully embrace who you are?
Mm-hmm. And that takes work. You know, sometimes it may appear easier for some people. You might have that moment or that God moment that people speak about or whatever. Wasn't that way for me, you know. But it's really just an acceptance and a knowing that we've heard this phrase. I feel like a lot of people have heard this phrase that, you know, everything you're searching for is already inside of you. Yes. And you're like, that sounds cool, whatever, but what does that really mean?
Yes.
Well, it means exactly that. Everything that you have ever searched for or wanted to be, you already are. And now let me word it a different way. Let's say in 10 years you become this epic person that you've always wanted to be. Well, when you were born, that heartbeat is the same as the heartbeat you'll have in 10 years. Same heart, same person. It's always been inside of you. Yes. So whoever you want to be, you can actually do that. It's already there. You just need some guidance sometimes. And it looks like Jenny was able to find her guidance from herself, which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So what I find interesting and relatable as a coach when you're talking about all of this, right, is that it's inside of you. Is I often talk to my clients about their true identity, right? Their, you know, because society, their family, you know, friends, they want them to be a certain way, right? Act a certain way, do certain things, go to college, like all of these outside factors. But when you do connect to your true identity, who you truly feel natural being, like, and it feels good, right? It feels like amazing. And like Jenny, you said, that's your light. That's what you knew. That's your passion and your purpose. And to be able to find that because it's your natural self and your true identity is just so powerful. And so I can relate to what you're talking about right now. That's awesome.
I really like your question, Jill. That made me like go back to when we really started, right? So Grace, you were saying something about like you have experienced the magical thing. You've experienced a lot.
Jenny connects with like spirits, you know, in the afterlife. And before I was like, you're full of shit.
Beep that out.
Beep.
Beep, beep, beep.
And I can't believe, like, I witnessed like how she's legit.
Really?
He has made a strong man cry because the dad who passed on and the mom who passed on actually connected with her, and this guy's like super strong trying to hold it. His jaws like clench and his eyes are like bloodshot already from trying to hold back tears. We were just casually having dinner. So so she had a meditation session at
San Ramon
a few years ago. So she had a meditation session at a massage, like a healing center in San Ramon. And we were all having dinner with my business partner and her girlfriend, who's a friend of mine. And we're just having dinner. And then suddenly, so Jenny was sitting right here, and the two were sitting across from us, and then we were eating, and Jenny's fork just flew, and she goes, "Ow!" Like somebody hit her, and
Yeah.
the wall. It's the wall beside her.
Mhm.
Nobody was there.
What?
And she's like, and then she starts talking about like, how stop it. And then I'm like,
You just look crazy, but she's not.
and then yeah, there's energy like somebody's here, blah blah blah, and she starts talking, and then she starts talking to the gentleman in front of me, my business partner, and it's like, there's somebody here in a military uniform, like with a really strong personality, trying to order me to do something. And then he goes, you know, my dad, he used to be in the military, blah blah blah. And then Jenny starts talking about like describing this man, and this guy's like, you know, slowly like, what is going on? You know, and then she's like, I see a female
Energy.
wearing a blue jacket, and she's singing. And then my business partner's like really crying now, like clenching. But my mother used to wear a blue jacket singing in a choir.
Yeah.
And so apparently he's had like, the mom was in comatose for a really long time when he was like 15, and then the father passed away, so he became like the man of the house, so he had to grow up so quickly. And so that's where he got his like strong energy. And then he's like here crying because Jenny's saying like, oh, you know, your mom and dad are here with us right now and trying to communicate to you.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm like, oh my God.
That's wild.
I love that.
One of us.
So the mom is actually they call the choir a blue lady singing choir.
Are in the church.
And even the mom even told
Prayer too.
Can you say that again?
She have known their prayer if not the mother was dictating to her to speak to my business partner.
Yeah.
And that's like legit.
So I even told her that, I even told him that, well, your mom wants to remind you about your prayer, like angel of God, my guardian dear, whom is love and trust me here, every night.
On her bedside.
Every night.
Every night while she was in coma.
Yeah. And even his brother's name, his dad mentioned it to me.
To check up on him.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I'm not okay. Some people.
Many experiences that I've witnessed.
So, well, so there's there. Sometimes we call ourselves like psychic medium, right? But I call myself a spiritual messenger. Because a psychic medium, anytime they can accept spirit to talk to them and deliver the message. It's gonna be crazy for me because sometimes this happens. It happens all the time. Like we're dining out, and all of a sudden I look at this person in front of me, and there's like a message that this spirit wants to talk to me, to that stranger. And I was like, no. I learned how to say no. I learned how to say no. So I call myself, I just allow myself to connect to spirits whom I really like be comfortable with. So, but the psychic mediums.
Psychic. I mean, like, there's a negative connotation. When you say psychic, I'm like, people will immediately say, what am I thinking right now?
Yeah, right?
What's the lottery number?
Yeah, right. So Jenny, did you find that this was something that you, similar to Jill's question, had to almost build and grow and connect to? Or were you just 5 years old talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I actually do have a long story about that, how I really turned my third eye open. And it's like, I can't say that for me, it's accidentally, because I was just like playing that time. But then I knew that I was already guided. So I'm going to talk more about that later on. But with your question, it's innate. It's a gift. Ever since I was a kid, I can already see ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, in spiritual world, we don't call them ghosts. We call them spirits. We call them angels. We call them like spirit guides. So the ghosts, if you're coming from a place of darkness and you see ghosts, or these ghosts are like dark or negative, you have to look at your inner being. You have to look at yourself. Why am I seeing these things? Instead of like seeing angels and lights and spirit guides, meaning that you're going through something. Maybe you have like a problem, you have anxiety, you have like whatever, past traumas, whatever that may be. So with Christina and I, we can actually see exactly where you're coming from, where you're at the certain moment. So for example, with Rachi, if you're going through something, that is somehow like a psychic thing, right? That we can actually see and feel your energy. And I can almost like hear you talking to me. That's how I do it. I don't know with Christina here. So Jill, you have to be careful with me because I know what you're thinking.
I was like, oh my God.
No.
Oh my God, we're like friends, but you like know.
But the good thing about this, Jill, is that even the good thing about this is because we're friends, so I know a lot about you already. So I don't have to do that.
And so it's different for everyone with a gift like this. Like for Jenny, she'll hear things and see things, and for me, it's more of an emotion. Mm-hmm. For example, I had a client yesterday, a Reiki client. So I was just working through her body, and I felt all of the emotions she was feeling during the trauma that she witnessed that was manifesting in this part of her body, and then the next part of her body, and the next. So then, after the session, we sit down and I say, you had an emotional abuse or trauma, like, tell me about that. And she's like, yeah, and then, I'm like, okay, well, that's manifesting here. So we'll work through that. And then, so you're going through a relationship with, I can just feel the emotion that they're feeling when they go through something that is stuck inside of them. And that's what I help release. So it's different. And then of course I see, I'm sorry, Jenny, what?
Christina, do you also cry when you feel the energy?
Do I cry?
Yeah, sometimes I cry. Like, I'm the one who's crying for them.
Usually So usually that happens more so when I know the person, because I'm hurting for them.
Yes.
And it used to be very overwhelming feeling someone else's emotions, but I've been able to now separate it. So I'll protect myself before I go into a session so that I can openly feel it, but I can come from a place that's of, okay, let's release it. Let's let go of it. So
talking about the practice before you start with your Reiki. So what do you do? I know you do it every single day because we have to, right? As a
my bubble.
Yeah.
Creating my bubble.
I like that.
So here's something everyone can do. You all can do this. So if you get overwhelmed in situations with a lot of people, or if you are going into a place with maybe someone you don't get along with very well, or if you're going to a family event, that chaos ensues every time, things like that. Just protecting your own energy is huge. You don't have to be a practitioner or a Reiki healer or anything, but it's a simple way of just aligning yourself with yourself so that nothing can really penetrate. So a simple way to do that is we'll do it right now. So go ahead and you can close your eyes.
Yeah. So I put on the spotlight.
Perfect. Is that why I just got huge and now I can see myself? So I like to put my left hand over my heart, my right hand over my belly. You're just really tuning into those chakras. So as you breathe in, slow down your breath. And as you exhale, make it even longer than your inhale. And just start by imagining a ball of white light in your heart. And as you breathe, every inhale, the ball of light just gets bigger and bigger and larger. And soon it's encompassing your entire body. It can be almost an oval if you'd like it to be. And then allow it to grow so it extends further from your body. So it's about a foot around. It's like your aura. It's a big oval around you. And you can do this as long as you'd like. but we'll take one more breath in. Open mouth, let it go. And then open your eyes. And just by doing that, you're connected to yourself, and it kind of gives you this shield. So that if someone else is really upset, you're not like, ugh! It's just like, oh, okay, they're upset. It has nothing to do with me. It just helps you protect yourself. So that's really helpful to do. And I'll do that before a session, so I'm not weeping for them, during a session.
It's true. Sometimes I have like last week, I have 3 clients, and I was like, can I really do this? Because I know it's too much, right? Especially with the 6 planets in retrograde. Thank God that Scorpio and Pisces is not actually affected. We are actually in a opposite flow. So we get more of the energy, good energies rather than bad. But surprisingly, I was so weak, like literally my eyes, my breathing, I'm like, wait a second. Because I remember when Jill asked you, Christina, if we get affected by it. You know what? Sometimes this is my bad, because I didn't really prepare for that. So lesson learned. So before we really begin with the session, there is a daily practice. You have to meditate. You have to feel it. You have to bubble yourself with this beautiful light. And as for me, it's my purple light color. So again, it depends on, and then when you talk about the aura, I really felt it. It's like I'm growing, right? It feels like your energy is moving out of your body and covering your whole body. So if I were you, Rochi and Jill, Burns already knows this, try to Google the auric field, and that will give you the picture, the image of what Christina just said. So thank you so much for just allowing your beautiful soul for today's episode, and I can't wait for you to join us again this August, and that's for sure.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me. This was so much fun. I loved it. I love sharing my energy, and I love absorbing everyone else's. It's so great. That's something I love, is connection. So thank you for that. But you can find me, so life coaching and Reiki sound like 2 entirely different things, but whether you come see me for either of those things, you'll get the other one. They just kind of mesh together for me, because I'm reading your energy as we're coaching through things, and it all just comes together. But I am a life coach and I'm a Reiki healer. You can find me. My website is ChristinaHealing.com. We're doing a yoga Reiki healing retreat in Costa Rica in January, if anyone wants to join us. Flights right now are so inexpensive, so like half. But we're so excited for that. I would love to share that with all of you. That was my website. You can find me on Instagram, Christina Reese Coaching, or email ChristinaReeseCoaching@gmail.com.
I think Facebook.
Facebook, it's my name, Christina Reese, Life Coach.
Yeah. So do you have a Facebook page?
Oh, my cat's saying hello.
Yes.
Yes, I have a page. Yeah. I don't know if you'll have links, but I can send you that link. I will be doing a Reiki workshop for Reiki 1 and 2 to become a practitioner, or again, just to heal yourself. That's August 1st and 2nd. It's a 2-day workshop. You're learning Reiki 1 the first day, Reiki 2 the second day, as I mentioned. A lot of that is through Zoom, so we can socially distance, but of course, we'll get into all the details. But it is for anyone, for any level. You don't have to be a level of anything. You don't have to have an expectation. And that is something we talked about a lot today. Let go of your expectations. If you want to learn and grow as a person, it's a beautiful thing to try. So each day is about 6 hours long. So it's like an intensive workshop.
Nice.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
My experience here was wonderful. So wonderful. So much fun. It's so great to connect with people that are very authentic and are genuine and love to learn about you. I had so much fun. It was definitely a highlight of my day so far. And after things like this, I'm just going to be glowing and just get so much. It's just so much fun to connect. I felt very welcome, very happy, connected. Yes. Thank you for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Christina. Well, you know what? We are so pleased and very grateful for you. And thank you for saying yes to us. And you did a good job. You really shared a lot of like your magical experience, and I learned a lot too. See, the good thing about being a healer myself is that I'm so open. We are so open to learning. I love hearing other people's story, and even like, for example, with Jill, Rochi, and Burns, they have an amazing stories as well, and they didn't know that they have this magical light inside of them as well. We just have a different magic and gift. So if I were you, listen to Christina, find it in your core, find it in your heart, allow your sacredness to fill you in, and so you can see the light in you. And I'm just, yes.
I was just going to say, so after this call, I hope you all take a couple of deep breaths, tune into your breath, and then that'll just reset you before you move on to the next part of your day. You can do that between everything, right after work, right before you pick the kids up, you know, and it's just a nice reset.
Yes. Thank you for that, Christina.
Thank you.
Now, so ladies,